Hello everybody, and here we are today in Throne Room Survival, Massacre, Hardcore, Solo of course. So there we go, this is my build that I use. If you're having any troubles with the boss destroying your towers in the middle, I suggest you use this build. It has been working very great for me. So yeah, let's just start with the auras. So for the auras, we're gonna have some overlapping auras, so you'll have to take off your gear to make your auras smaller and then put them back. So yep, there we go. I put them here, although you can move them a little bit back if your auras are smaller than mine, or if you want your auras to cover the north part of the map. So we're just gonna go with electric and ensnare aura, and then we're gonna put back our gear, and you'll see the aura size. And there we go, they overlap in the middle. In the middle, we're gonna go with one healing aura and one strength drain aura. So try to make them a bit centered, a bit closer to the north part, so it's going to cover the north wall. So yeah, and then we're going to go with the gas trap right above the aura. So we're going to place some infernal traps right below, but I'm actually going to put them afterwards, so it's going to get into our buff beam. So same thing here, poison trap, and at the top here we're going to go with the gas trap here. So yeah, and then you can switch to your EV, put them in your hero deck if they're not already. We're going to go with a Waller and Builder Power EV for the buff beams. So I'm going to start with walls. We're going to go with two 4D walls. So right here, don't put it too close to that little edge of the stairs there, and right up top there. So there we go, 4D walls. Same thing over here. If you put them too close to the stairs, to the edge of the stairs there, some ogres will be able to hit the crystal, so yeah, just be careful of that. And then we're gonna go with the 60 buff beam, getting both walls and all the auras here. Make sure both walls are buffed. Just check if there's the armor stat on it. And then we're gonna go with one infernal trap on each side. So just make sure the infernal trap is inside the buff beam. There we go. And then at the top we're gonna go with infernal trap here. This one's not gonna be buffed, but it won't really matter, as you'll see. This lane is just we're gonna just CC the enemies here. They won't be too much of an issue. And yeah, for the wall, I just put it on this little, I don't know what it's called, a little line over there. The ogres won't be able to hit the core here. We're gonna go with the 3D shock beam, and same on each side of 3D shock beams like this. I put them on the third stairs. If you put them too close to the wall, ogres which are attacking the wall are actually gonna trigger the shock beam. So yeah, you'll just have to like experiment with the placement of the shock beam. For me, it's been working fine placing them there. So yeah, we're gonna have the three shock beams, 3D use. So, and then you're gonna switch to your tower wizard. That's right, we're gonna use some towers here, but we're not gonna put them in the middle because the boss will be able to target them and to destroy them. So we're going to put them in the back over here where the boss won't be able to touch them. Of course, during the boss fight, just don't stand near your towers, since the boss projectiles can destroy your towers. So yeah, the one in the middle is just going to point right up north. It's going to kill the djinns, the sharks, and if the boss is going to get to the middle. The two other DSTs, we're going to have Thrintles, are going to point slightly to the sides. So just make sure the targeting area, this yellow line, is getting is touching the core, getting the middle lane, a little bit of the middle lane. So oh yeah, try to put the DST very close to the walls here. You're gonna understand why when we put down the reflect beam later. So yeah, like I'm having a little trouble here placing them in. So yeah, just make sure it's as close as to the wall as possible. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, the targeting area, the little yellow line, getting the core here, just like that. Switch to your EV to place the buff beam. We're gonna go with one 40U buff beam here, getting all 3 DSTs. Just make sure they're all buffed. Check for the armor stat on the inspect tool. And then we're gonna go with the 2DU reflect beam. So yeah, just place it like that. The reason why you want a DST really close to the wall is because you don't want them getting outside of the reflect beam. So just like this, it's gonna work great. And then switch to your DPS. I'm actually gonna play on my DPS monk here. You can play on any DPS you like, it doesn't really matter. Just notice that there's a lot of fire in this build, especially like at the north part where there's only one DST being physical damage, and all the rest of the damage is going to be from the infernal trap. So if you get a fire siren, it might be a little bit let's say, annoying to deal with that lane if you're on your summit weapons dealing fire elemental damage. So for the upgrades, I just, after maxing the buff beams, I just do 2 times the wall, 2 times the shock beams, 2 times the infernos, and 3 times every ensnare, electric aura, and strength drain. You're gonna notice the ensnare aura is gonna drain fast on this map. So yeah, just throw a couple upgrades if you can on them. You're gonna have some remaining mana at the end. You can really do whatever you want with that mana. I just like to upgrade this wall over here, because sometimes if you get a poison siren or fire siren, this wall can take a beating. Nothing dangerous. I just like having that extra precaution there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The build is done, the upgrades are done. I'm just going to show you my stat over here. This is my monk. You do not need those stats. Those are the stats I have after completing Summit, Survival Solo. So yeah, I would say your builders would probably need around 6k to 6.5k in power, and your wallers perhaps 6.5k to 7k. Nothing too extreme there. Yeah, I'm just going to show you my other builders here. This is my Huntress that I used for place power. This is my Huntress for range. This is my EV, buff beam EV. I really need to update her gears. It's not top of the line, as you can see. It's decent, but nothing impressive. And yeah, that's pretty much it. During the waves, I'm actually going to play, for the boss, I recommend playing on the Squire tank. It's definitely the easiest way to beat the boss. However, you'll see I'm going to clear the boss on my monk. You can play on any DPS you want, but if you want to play safe, I would go with the Squire with a higher DPS hero, or a monk, or a Huntress, or a series EV. The boss will die quicker, but like I said, if you want just to have a safe run, I would suggest a tank square. So tank squire, sorry about that. Oh yeah, if you get random ogres here on the side, you're gonna notice they're not gonna aggro onto the towers. They're gonna go down to the walls over there, so don't worry too much about your towers over there. So yeah, for the walls, the little gap is because if you get the ogre there, it can sometimes hit the crystal. So yeah, just that little gap helps to make sure the ogres will not hit the crystal. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna jump to wave 25. Alright, here we are, wave 25, and let's start this. This map is not very hard, as long as you're paying attention. I'm just checking out the sirens at the start, just to check if I have a fire siren at the top. I do get easy sirens. If you want to kill the sirens, which I do on this map because it's not that hard, I just go here behind the reflect demon, and it usually goes very well. And here your ogres are not that much of an issue. Of course, if you have like a big buildup of ogres on your wall, just make sure your walls don't go down. Yeah, just repair them a couple times. You can upgrade them if you want, or you can just kill the ogres really fast. But with the buff beam on 4D walls, usually it takes a little while for ogres to take down the walls, especially since there's a strength drain there. So we have 2 electric sirens here. I'm just going to kill them very fast. And just check your minimap a couple times, just in case there's something that goes wrong. You're going to see it very fast. There we go, sirens down. Fire ogre here, I'm going to ignore it. Repair the walls if you can. There's a poison siren. It's not that much of an issue with the shock beams, to be honest. But it has happened a couple times that a shark has been able to pass the shock beam, which is really weird. Either it passed like right beside it, like a little gap on the sides, or it passed during the reset time, which is very impressive, but it is possible. So just make sure, if you have a poison siren, you can clear the sharks manually if you want to be sure that they're not going to push your walls. So yeah, as you'll see, the DST will take down the copters kind of fast. They're not going to get stuck there in your auras. The reason we go with 2 stacks of electric auras and slow and snare auras is because we want the copters to, just in case the DSTs don't get stuck in the aura and auras for a while, and to give the DSTs time to kill them. So there we go. Repair the shock beams a couple times. It has happened to me that the shock beam has gone down because I wasn't paying attention. So just make sure to repair them a couple times. There we go, we get the north over here. Just kill him if you want. But like I said, with the wall placement, this is kind of the limit before the ogres will be able to hit the crystal because of the range of their little stick kind of thing. So yeah, the rest of the map, once the sirens and then most of the nightmares enemy are down, it's pretty easy. It's just gonna be waiting until the boss wave. Here in the northern lane, if you get a fire siren, it can get annoying because there's only an inferno dealing damage here, but it's not that much of an issue since the Gasher will just CC all the enemy until, well, if you just leave that lane alone, the DST will eventually kill all the enemies, and the DST will actually kill all the dangerous enemies like the sharks and the djinns, so it's not really an issue if you just have a bunch of enemies CC'd over there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. As you can see, it's only trash mob now, not much of an issue. Grab the mana if you can, because once once this wave ends, all the mana will disappear. If you're on hardcore, of course. So yeah, just go around, grab the mana, so you'll have some juice in case you need some emergency repairs on the walls or anything, or the auras. Usually it's the walls. So yeah, there's some runs I don't even need to upgrade the walls. Yeah, maybe the wall on the side of the boss, you might need to repair it. Even if it goes down, it won't be too much of an issue, especially if you're playing on the square. You don't even need the wall on the boss side. You can just tank all the ogres there, so it's not that much of an issue. Just one thing though, if your walls go down and there's an ogre coming here on the sides, they are going to aggro to your tower, so just make sure, if you don't have a wall or your wall went down or a shark pushed your walls, just make sure if there's an ogre coming from there, there's only one random ogre that's going to spawn each wave, and during the boss wave every kind of wave of enemies. So just keep an eye on your mini-map, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Prepare for the boss, repair everything, your auras, your walls. And for the boss, if you're on your tank square, you could tank him as soon as he gets out there. If you're playing on a DPS hero, the strategy is pretty straightforward. You just go on the sides there and jump from one side to the other to kind of try to evade his little projectiles, who do deal a lot of damage. So just make sure you're constantly moving, because if not, you can get killed pretty easily. You can take a couple shots, but he tends to like shoots tons of projectiles at the same time, and if they all get you, well, you're pretty much dead unless you're on a tank square. So here we are. You can see his HP is going down pretty quickly. Yeah, just do this, jump from one side to the other while attacking him. He's not going to move too much, and it's not that much of an issue. If you do get hit, I recommend healing yourself while you're in mid-air, jumping from one side to the other. If you just stay still and try to heal yourself, the projectiles can get you. As you can see, I just got destroyed by a barrage of projectiles there, but no big deal. My monk is a bit tanky, so yeah, just make sure nothing goes down. I'm just checking on my walls a couple times to see how much health they have and to see if I need to repair stuff. I like to repair my shock beams a couple times, but really you don't really need to, especially if you're going to kill the boss really quickly. There you see there's a couple ogres. Yeah, the thing is, if you get an ogre with the elemental resistance of your hero damage, it can be annoying if you're not on your tank square, but it's definitely doable. So as you can see, the boss do hit quite hard. Try to evade as many projectiles as you can. His other attacks are pretty slow and easy to evade, so that's not too much of a worry. I do try to kill ogres a couple of times just so that there's not too much of an ogre buildup. As you can see, the core got hit because I placed my wall a bit too close to the edge of the stairs, so that little tip of the ogre stick could touch the core. So yeah, I'm just checking on my walls. Now I do go near my towers by accident there, but don't do that, because if you're unlucky and the boss actually like fires a projectiles at you while you're near the tower, it can destroy your DST, so just beware of that. Oh, there I almost went down. So yeah, the thing is, the tank square is definitely a safer play. I'm just saying it's possible to play with your monk, and the monk is just my favorite hero, so I just like playing on the monk. But the tank square is definitely an easier option here. So the boss is almost down. I'm not going to bother repairing too much stuff right now. I'm just going to focus on killing the boss. There we go. The core is under attack again because of that ogre over there. I'm just going to kill him. So yeah, not that much of an issue. The tip of the overstick is not going to deal that much damage to the core. So yeah, there we go. The boss is down. It wasn't too long. So yeah, wave 25 and the boss took about 8 minutes or a bit more. So that's kind of reasonable. So yeah, if you want to farm this map, this is a great build that I use, and it works pretty well for me. I got a not so good godly Monkey King there, and a terrible actually monk weapon. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. If you liked the video, please like it and subscribe, and I'll be back next time.